Okay, I'm going to go through what this crazy sport is that you've signed up for. So, minus juniors. So are there junior parents in here? Probably by now the junior parents are sick of hearing me talk. 1, 2, so there's 4, 5. No, there's some in here. The juniors are a little bit different. They live on their own planet. For everybody else that's 15 and under, you have athletes that swim what are called figures and routines. Figures are made up of skills that they have to go, a panel of judges, kind of like the way Amy and I are, but there'll be 5 of them, sit there, and your swimmer swims out in front of them, and then they do the best they can, and those judges flip a mark. You should be expecting, when you're starting in 10 and under pre-comp, you could be expecting scores as low as a 2.5. And when you're getting up into 13 to 15 HP, you could be expecting scores in the mid-7s at the very top end.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. So you're talking, there's only a 5-point spread between our beginner swimmers and our HP swimmers. It's not very much. Those figures are marked on a whole bunch of different things. One is how slow they go. One is whether or not they stay put, because they tend to travel and go somewhere else and not stay put. Another one is if their positions are accurate. Another one is how high out of the water they can take themselves. And the last one is extension. So those are the 5 main areas they get marked in. And the judge, I may think, that's worth a 4.3. Amy may think it's worth a 5.1. It's why they have 5 judges. They take all of the scores, and then they knock off the bottom and the top and average the rest out. So that is how, in pretty basic terms, there's a few other little things in there, but from a parenting perspective, that would be more than enough information to understand what's going on. They swim them in black suits and white bathing caps. So if there are 200 kids in the meet, you will not find yours. You will sit in the stands and she will ask you, or he will ask you, did you see my, you might find Chris. Yeah. Chris you'll find.
Yeah.
Chris will find, everybody else will be a blur.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to wear bracelets unless it's a medical alert bracelet. No earrings, no elastic bands, no nail polish, no nothing that distinguishes them. They're trying to make them all look exactly the same. It's why I really don't know why any of you sit in the stands. But if you have a child that wants you in the stands and they say, did you see my blah, blah, blah? You say, yeah, it was great. Are you proud of yourself? Even though you probably didn't see it. And if you may think you saw it, but it was probably someone else's. So it's a bit of a crazy experience, and it's very nerve-wracking. They put a ton of pressure on themselves. It takes years for them to actually do what they're capable in front of the judges. What they do in practice rarely looks like what they do out in front of the judges. That takes a very long time and a lot of skill in order to do from one to the other. That's okay. Praise the effort. Did they try? That's all we need them to do is try. So that gives you an idea of figures. In Ontario, so all of you mostly, even those of us that are going to go on to compete outside of Ontario, our figures are worth up to 60% of our mark. So what happens then is your team, they take all of your figure marks. Once I did what they said, drop one judge, drop the other, average them out. Everybody's figures average gets combined together, and then they take that as an average out of 60. And that becomes your team's average. So it doesn't matter. Well, first of all, you become worth very little in that scheme as one person, right? Because you're only worth 1/8 of 60%. That starts to take a little bit of pressure off. As a team, for coaches, we don't care what order they come in. We honestly don't. I care that over a 5-meet period, they get a little bit of a higher mark all combined together. Because Amy's going to have a great day and I'm going to have a terrible day. And then hopefully at the next meet, I'm going to have a great day and Amy's going to have a terrible day. And in the end, it all comes out in the wash. If as a coach and a parent, we get stuck on, well, you had 58 last time, why do you only have 57 this time? You will create a nightmare a performance anxiety nightmare. You should not be expecting them to go up every meet. It will not happen. I have been standing here at the Olympium since 1995. I've never had a swimmer go up at every meet. Never. They will go up, down, 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 up, down, up. Hopefully over the long term, they started at 2.5 and we got them above a 6.5 over their career with a crazy roller coaster ride in between that hopefully we've all been praising the effort and getting the focus off the results so we haven't caused a performance disaster, because they will cause one themselves. They don't need help from any of us creating too much pressure on themselves. They've already got that market cornered. They can create pressure all by themselves, so we should be not trying to add to it. It's already tough enough.
Should we give them a pep talk? You know, last year my daughter's figure, she rushed through every time she went in, she just rushed through. I mean, the coaches take care of it, or should I just say, oh, just go slow?
Depends on your child.
Yeah.
My advice to you, the coaches are already doing it.
Right.
So here's what happens. If, let's say they rush, like let's say that is their thing. They finish the figure, they already know they rushed. And then their teammate has already said to them, why do you go so fast? And then they've gone over to the coach, and the coach said, you did that in 45 seconds in practice. You just did it in 17 seconds in front of the judges. Do you know what's going on? Let's make a plan how we can slow you down. And then they come out to you and you go, you really rushed, eh? Leave me alone! Like, they already know. They've already been through it. So my advice to you is to praise the effort. Did you work hard? They don't go in there going, I'm going to sabotage myself today. So praise the effort. Praise the fact that they showed up, and know that if something went wrong, they've already tortured themselves enough. They probably don't need any more torture. We've got that 60%. So now we have to build the other 40% of their mark, and that is with routines. So your routine is worth 40% of your mark for the majority of you. Like I said, take the juniors out of this mess because we live our own world. Depending on the age group and depending on the competition, there's a slight difference in how it is broken down. However, in very basic terms again, you get marked in 3 areas: artistic impression, execution, and difficulty. Difficulty is worth the least. So out of that 40%, difficulty could end up being worth 4 in some age groups. So 4 out of 100 is how difficult their routine is. And the rest is how well they're doing what they've got. So that should give you an idea on where, as a club and as a head coach, I spend my time with the coaches and what we're looking at. So their routine should be done well before they are hard. It's worth 4%. So there is a lot of math in there and a lot of meetings and a lot of discussions that go on that you guys, I know you don't understand. But that gives you a very basic, and I don't know why you'd want to understand, but it's because it's crazy, but it gives you a very basic outline of what's going on when they're actually in the pool competing.